And welcome back to the Games Gamers. I'm really happy you showed up here for Thursday's update on the Multi-Crew 2.3 Commanders information that we learned on today's live stream. I'm going to give you a little summary here. That's why you're here. You don't want to watch the whole hour and 15 minutes. You just kind of want a nice little synopsis of what the hell's going on. And that's, great. I love to do this for you. Let me watch all of that and let me just sum up everything that happened. Now, Tuesday's event, where they brought out Multi-Crew 2.3 and they were talking about the character creation tool and, basically like bringing commanders to life and giving them the flesh. And you can watch that video here on this card. I was shocked and amazed. Like, I literally was just beside myself. It was amazing. 2.3, a lot of us had these same kind of expectational hopes. Like, our hype factor was up. And people that weren't in the know, like myself and a few others, thought that, 2.3 Commanders Multi-Crew was going to give us that kind of like walking around, like shaking hands, that type of interaction. And I knew that going in that wasn't the way that it was going to be. So you had a couple people disappointed on that. But I am not disappointed in the least of what I saw. The Commanders intro footage, when they started talking about having up to 3 commanders in one ship, this reminded me of Wings, the Wings update, but upgraded even like to the extreme. Wings brought in fleeting up, basically working together as a group in comms. This was on a whole nother level. Basically, they're saying that you can put up to 3 commanders inside of one ship. So when we had the view of the cockpit last Tuesday that blew me away, and we saw that there was a commander sitting in the chair, now you can have up to 3. And there's a lot of technicals involved here, so we're going to go over a little bit of that. But first, I want everybody to know that you can easily invite people into your ship. You basically invite your friends into the ship. They can accept it or not. And then, boom, you start off and you're all in one ship together, each having different roles. The core, the multi-crew feature of actually taking 3 people with 3 separate roles, doing all these things in one ship, giving the ship kind of this uber power and bonuses. And the bonuses we'll go over as well. So there was a slight disappointment from people that wanted people walking around. That will be in the future. I can tell they're gearing up for it, and I'm happy for it, and they're going in small steps and phases. And this is the difference between Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen as I cover Star Citizen as well. I feel like Star Citizen kind of gives you this whole big like idea and just puts it out there and says, yes, you can do everything, and kind of over promises. And then when it comes time where they're showing things off, sometimes under deliver, sometimes, not all the times. But that tends to be the way or the thinking of Chris Roberts. Just dream huge, dream big, and then, let's retract and let's kind of like say, okay, these are the things that we got to do. Whereas David with Frontier kind of does it a different way. It's under promising and somewhat over delivering at times. Now this particular Thursday live stream, it wasn't as big a shock as Tuesday, like the shock and all that I had Tuesday, but I, unlike a few others, thought that this was very positive and moving in the right direction. When you sit in the ship, you have roles in the ship. And the cool thing is not only do you have roles in the ship, but it actually breaks things down as to like how you want to play, inviting styles of gameplay, which I thought was really cool. So for instance, if you wanted to go out bounty hunting, you say, okay, I want to invite you, but I want to do some bounty hunting. So you get people that are bounty hunters. And if they break the actual fundamentals in the game as far as bounty hunting and say they do something illegal, boom, it just automatically kicks them out of the ship for doing something that doesn't define the role that they're brought in to the ship for, because you're the captain. Piracy, for instance. If you want to yard up, great. You yard up with some friends that feel the same way. You can mentor people. You can bring people into your ship to teach them different roles. Hugely cool, as I think creating your own community. This is a really cool role that I would like to do with a lot of gamers here on the channel. Mining, we're going to get into that. I've got a whole section here to talk about towards the end that I think is going to be like phenomenal. Mining, exploration, and smuggling, all kind of industrial type of aspects, more like work related, that we will get into. And I think this is going to open up a whole new facet of gameplay thanks to this multi-crew feature within 2.3. Now, what happens if your ship blows up, right? You get insurance discounts. They put fail safes to where the pilots that you invite in the ship are not going to be able to shoot your own ship and blow you up. Okay? So the captain ultimately has full control like you normally would when you're flying the ship. And they give you different types of roles when you're sitting in there, like power management. You can take like the power management role. And the cool thing is that you get 1 extra pip bonus for this type of style, for this style of play with multi-crew, they give you like an extra pip. So they're kind of rewarding you for playing together because they want more people to have this human interaction. Very smart, because that was missing. Elite kind of had that missing. You know, you go from system to system and you kind of like see all this AI and all this NPC. And over time, I think a lot of people get inundated with that and get bored with it. There are quite a few people that play Elite Dangerous that love that and that come to the game for that because it's casual and it's like relaxing and they see the scenery and that's what they're there for. And I understand that type of play. But this update is kind of like encouraging people to get together to play together, and they're saying, okay, great. Now, because you're involving yourself with other people, you get an extra pip for shield management, for weapons, etc. So very, very cool. There's a navigational panel where you can point out ships while you're sitting, and we'll talk about the camera views as well, which is just, again, incorporating camera views with multi-crew. I think is like the perfect way for content creators to create really vivid movie style cinematic content, and I cannot wait to play with friends to create such content. So as I said, the captain chair has the total control as you would normally fly, and the other two chairs you can pick like a role, and the roles basically are like power management, picking up people on the UI and getting their information and piping it to the ship's computer. Very cool. The other spot, basically a gunner role, and you basically pick this role and you're able to play with the fire groupings, which I think is really cool, and it does not interfere with the captain's setting, and you get 2 extra slots. So again, more bonuses given to people that are actually grouping up. And you have to be aware of this, especially if you're in a PvP mode, if you're flying against multiple commanders in the same ship, which you will be able to know, which I think is also very cool, because not only can you have this gunner role, but you can also choose to be in a fighter. One person in a fighter flying with you that's human, another person who's doing either a gunner role or a management control role, or the second and third person can be in fighters. So you can have 2 fighters for the first time. You can have 2 fighters flying outside of your ship for the first time. And if you don't have the second human player, the second commander flying the fighter, so for instance, you have 2 fighters, you can have 1 NPC fighter and 1 human fighter flying. So you can still have 2 fighters flying outside your ship for the first time, which is really, really exciting. And it gives you that extra bonus for those people, again, that want to do the multi-crew, giving people more reason to actually crew up together. So kudos to Frontier for putting this element into the game. A lot of people still upset that multi-crew isn't like walking around, but this multi-crew here is the beginning stages of what I see like evolving into more character interaction down the road, finally giving you that kind of feel that you got in the initial introduction video of Elite Dangerous when you saw the pilot walking to the ship. I think eventually we're going to get there. So great camera presets for the gunner positions, by the way, for new markers in out of ship cam, which is again very helpful for auto targeting and scanning, which gives multi-crews 360 auto scanning, and that info is shared to the ship's computer. Like I said before, it's amazing. It's just amazing. Ability to fire weapons, missiles, and chaff, all in 360-degree viewing beauty, showing all the effects and etc. It really shows off the game. And for people that decide to actually multi-crew and sit and be that type of role, just fantastic. I think that's one of the roles I think is just as fun as the captain's seat, because you're more aware of everything going around you. You can set up camera controls as well so that you're following the ship and you can rotate yourself around the ship, fire from the outside, target things, basically feed all the information that you can in the PC so the captain knows what in the hell is going on almost instantaneously. This brings fighting, PvP, even the PvE to a whole new level. And you know what the really cool thing was? A question that was brought up by one of the viewers that I thought was a very good question. They said, how are bounties going to be split up when you destroy, well, either PvP or in PvE, the bounties? What does it split 3 ways? Does it split 2 ways if you have 2 people? You get the full bounty. Everybody that flies with you gets the full bounty, which, you know what? Again, great design element and inspires people to be multi-crew. Just can't believe that they have done this, and I think that is very, very great. Here, take the entire bonus, and we're not going to split it 3 ways. You all get the same full bonus. But if you combine this with the comms, which is automatic when you multi-crew up with your friends, it's automatic. You automatically have comms. You don't have to push anything extra. You just automatically are in the comm state. You can mute that if you want, but I think that also inspires people to talk and to get to know one another. And another cool thing that we're going to talk about is turreted mining. So, for instance, you're in a mining type scenario ship, you can have turreted mining, which is going to bring a whole bunch of like industrial people into the game, mining together, just chilling out, drinking a beer, drinking a refreshment, sitting there talking, shooting the shit, mining, and you're going to have people out there doing things that are productive. They're going to bring in like a CD element, maybe a pirate element, and then after people are getting pecked off, they're going to be like, you know what, I am tired of this. Then you're going to have like security around them, and then you're going to have bounty hunters coming after there. So I think this is going to bring more human interaction to the game, which is really the spice of life. This is what makes a game feel alive. This is what makes the game immersive, and I'm very excited that they're bringing this in. Now, I am going to bring up a feature that this is my negative. This is what I've got to say that I got negatively from this. There is a block player and a report player feature that they've added, and a lot of people are very happy about this, and I am not. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not. It reduces the risk in space. Space is a dangerous place. They already have a safe mode that you can play in within the game. So now that we have the safe mode and you've got like the open world mode where everybody's flying in, they've added to the open world mode to block a player and to report the player. Now, I think this adds a flat, stale quality to the game as far as the danger element being taken out of Elite Dangerous. Again, we talked about this a long time ago, about a year ago. It's why I started bringing the Dangerous series, because I wanted more danger in the game. I wanted more human interaction in the game, and I said, how can I play this game differently so that it inspires me, so that it brings that spark to the game? Where does it leave those that like pirating in game? Imagine being blocked from every player that you pirate or reported. Eventually there will be no more opportunities, and what Frontier is doing is favoring one type of playstyle over another instead of keeping it a level playing field. This block feature will disenfranchise those who want the complete immersion experience. The report feature can also be abused by having those who have been pirated unjustly reporting and persecuting the play styles of pirates, basically for playing the way they like to play. Again, they are making this a more elite experience while excluding the danger. Frontier is essentially Disney-fying space. They're making it a Disney safe zone. So that is one kind of like negative that I didn't like about it. I still think that it needs to be an even playing field. This is space, people. Dangerous things happen, and if you don't like it, they have safe mode already. So I would question that. I want to know what you guys think about that. Overall, I was very happy with the presentation, only because I can see where they're going. So while you had people who were upset that you're not walking around all this, that were uninformed, that didn't realize, the direction, that haven't been playing for a while like a lot of us, I was still very positive and upbeat about the whole presentation. They could have done a little bit more as far as like having some PvP gameplay where you had two multi-crews going against each other. I really wanted to see that. I really wanted to see two multi-crews going against each other in a fight, not them just banging up some NPC. I wanted to see two multi-crews going at it. I thought that would have been great for the presentation, something to think about. And another thing that some people were a little bit upset about was no mention of the mega ships, but I think they're saving that because they did allude to something even more impressive in the future. So whether that's coming in the 2.3 or the 2.4, it's coming, and we can talk a lot more about that as that information is released. So I hope this was a nice little summation, a synopsis for all of you who've been watching, who've been faithful to the channel. Thank you for watching here on The Guys. I will continue to update. I'm starting to get back in, watching my friend Chaos Wolf and learning a lot because I have been out for a while. So the cool thing is this game got interesting to me again, and I'm very excited to play it, and I'm very excited that you're along for the ride. So I can't wait. All right, gamers, that's it. We'll have more next week. See you on the next vid.